Okay, we're starting with Ezra Hashem Simon Pei Gimel and vayoel Moshe. And now he's bringing a new argument that some Tziyonim made. Listen to this one. Ve'ein litois v'loymar. Don't make a mistake and think she'ein b'memshala zu iser hashuas. That this government, this state of Israel is not in the veil of the shuas.
Why not? Say they're not because they're doing too much war. They don't have, they have too much war. They don't have peace and quiet.
And they don't have any peace and quiet. Right? That's what he's going to say. Yan.
I thought the America controls Israel. Really, that's what I'm saying.
She'ein ba geula v'cheres, because there's no real redemption here. There's no freedom. There's no sovereignty. Why not? There's no ein ba geula v'cheres klal ela adrab tzaras gedolos. That all they have is trouble from day one till now. They have no peaceful times. But ruchnius v'gashmius, they have trouble in ruchnius. The Yidden who live over there have trouble from the medina, and gashmius, the things are dangerous. Shezeh v'alei tois gomer. People want to tie that because of this, it's not cheres, it's not called going out of galus. Shezeh v'alei tois gomer. But this is a big mistake. To think that an unsuccessful movement to do this is therefore mutter. Shaharei, b'mash shemayri hamaral, that in the case that the Maharal is talking about, imhu al yidei kfiyah, if you learn that the Maharal means that they're going to force people to be over on the shalosh shvuos, they're going to force them with torture at gunpoint to be over on the shalosh shvuos. So that's obviously not such a comfortable type of life, right? Im al yidei kfiyah shal misa. If at gunpoint, Rachman litzvan, v'alidei surim v'yinuim kashim kedoyer shel shmad shezev v'adei enu cheres. But if they listen and they obey the orders of the government and they do it, that's not freedom. That's not doing what you want to do. It's doing what you're being forced to do. Shezev v'adei enu cheres ugula el atzar gedoyer Rachman litzvan. It's still it's difficult troubles that we're suffering if we've listened to the government. And still the Maharal holds that that's called being over the shvua. Of course, according to what the Rebbe brings in Lam and Gimel, when he says the other pshat in the Maharal, this wouldn't be an argument. Remember the other pshat in the Maharal was that if the governments are bothering the Yidden in their place, and the Yidden want to break away and go to Eretz Yisrael and make a medina, then that's what the Maharal means in the Harg Vayoel. According to that, it's not a kasha. All right. Gam Harambam Zal, another proof that we don't say that an unsuccessful movement is mutter. Harambam Zal b'igeres teimon kasev sham be'uvda didei, regarding his story there about the false Messiah. Shekishis vada lemelech, that when the king of Yemen finds out about this messianic pretender, right? They're just going to get trouble from the king. They're not going to get any gula. They're not going to get anywhere. And still the Rambam says that doing this is a transgression of the oath. Okay? And not only that, the Rambam says kasev oyatam. He says, on the contrary, he says that's goof of the reason for the severity of this oath. Because it's not going to be successful, that's why Hashem made an oath on it. The Rambam says, the reason for the severity of the oath is that the Rambam knew that the reason is, Shlomo Melech knew that any movement to do this will end in destruction, will end in failure. And that's why he made the shvua not to do it. So you see Gufa in the shvua that's built into it, this idea that it's not going to be successful. Now this is echoing what the Rebbe said. Take a look in the Hakdama on page 1 of Hakdama. Very first page. He's talking about the idea of the Holocaust being an oynish for the Tziyonim, and he says that they didn't actually achieve their goal before the Holocaust started, right?
Right, they only were successful after that.
They were successful after. So how could you say that it's blamed on that Aveira? So he says in the paragraph starting Ulam, Be'inyan Zeh, he says, that Zionism before the Holocaust was not just a thought. It wasn't just a thought, it was actual actions that were taken. great and strong actions were taken lepu'ula hamar hazois, to this bitter end, to this bitter goal. B'tachbulais v'oifanim shonim, with various different tricks and strategies. L'havi lidei kach lavar al shvus halalu. V'zeh pashat shekol oifanei ha'pu'ula shoisin b'zeh havi avar al shvua. Any action you take, even if it's not successful, is a various hashvua. U'kamoy shirayim, the same raya that he brings in Peib Gimel, he bring here. Kamoy shirayim shekasav Rambam zal b'yigeres temon al echad she'amar al atzmei shu Mashiach. That regarding a person who claimed to be Mashiach, v'yislaktu elav ha'yeza anashim v'hizir ha'islam tuva shehi sakana gedola. The Rambam warns them that this is a great danger. Why? Shekshis v'adam ha'malchus yiyu mizet tzaras gedolas. Rachmana litzlan. That there's going to be trouble for the Jews when the king finds out. And he nevertheless warns them not to be over on the shuas because of Tama Shvuas b'shvil sheyad shalom b'ruach hakodesh shetiftzar li'isno'eya b'lo ita. That this nation, Klal Yisrael, will push to get out of the galus before it's time. Haroi v'yoevdu b'shvil zeh, they'll perish because of this. Vayoel and tzaras, and bad things will come upon them. That he knew that this movement won't succeed. It's the same point that he's making here. Okay, v'chein b'vnei Ephraim. A third raya to this point is from the story of Bnei Ephraim. Lo yisigu shum to'eles me'uma. That with their movement to break out of Egypt 30 years before the Yetzias Mitzrayim, they didn't get anything from it. They went up to the Eretz Plishtim, Shekaravi, which is close to Mitzrayim. That Chazal say in the Medrash that because they went out of Mitzrayim too early, they were over on the Shvuah, and they were punished that they were killed by the Plishtim. Okay. The eye see they didn't succeed, they didn't get anywhere with their movement. The shvuas don't only go on the case when someone achieves the government, and they achieve their own sovereignty. That it just means not to take actions, not to take steps in this matter. Against the decree. And so it is, it makes sense to say that of course if Hashem doesn't want it to happen, it's not going to succeed. So it wouldn't make sense to say that Hashem asserts it only in the case when it succeeds, because He doesn't want it to succeed. If Hashem doesn't build a house, then its builders toil in vain. That it's just to take action, to take steps to try to be mevatel His gzeira with physical action. That's kfira in the main yisoid of Amunah, that we have to believe Hashem is in charge of the Geula. Even though you don't get anywhere with it. Okay, so now he's going to return to a kasha that we discussed in Siman. I believe it was in Siman Chaf Vav. Talked about the Maharal and talked about Rashi. Rashi says that Tefillah with Tachanunim is Naver of Techikas HaKeres, right? So the Maharal brings that down, and still the Maharal says that the Shvuah is Hayahar G'Yavar. So how could it be that someone will force someone to pray too much for the Geula? How can you force someone to pray? Praying is in the heart. You can't force someone to pray. That was his kasha. So he says the Maharal, the answer is going to be because both of them are aser. Both davening too much and action are both aser. So he says, Hamaral, it's an iron test when he answers up the Rashi. Hamaral Kosef Shnei Bechinas. He says both things. Shehiskil b'divrei Rashi. He begins by quoting Rashi Zal, Sholo Yarbu b'tachanunim yoyster midai, not to daven too much. V'siyem b'yitziyah min ha'galus, and he ends off with the Indian of going out of galus with physical force. Al yidei kfiyah, when they're forcing you to do so. And the question was, how could that be? If going out of galus means davening too much, how could they force? The answer is he's talking about physically going out. The tarvayu isnu, both things are true. Going out with force and going out with davening are both prohibited under the shvua. Kamoy biyarti leil, like he explained earlier in 9 tests. Shirashi zal hoisif. The Rashi just adds on af hamar b'tachnunim. Rashi is just adding that it's also osir to daven too much. Avaloy polig al mashakos v'chazal. He's not arguing on Chazal who say that it's action. Dekoy asiyas to adam, it's going on actions, steps, bedavar. The kol shekain hu degar tfei. Because that's even worse. But even davening is asr. But this fits in with this sim because he's saying even efforts are asr. So davening is for sure nothing more than an effort. That's why this fits in with the simon. Uveloshin dechikas haketz nichla akol. This word, forcing the end, includes everything. It includes physical force and extra prayer. Hakol nichla akol. Kol miya dechika b'chol oifen v'oifen. All types of forcing the end.